Hello, new and old friends. Welcome to Julie's Odile Show. Thank you for always watching my videos. Thank you for subscribing. And thank you for being part of Julie's Odile Show. Today on the show, I'm glad to host the ONC coordinator, Soroti City East. And that is none other than Shaban Ali. A lot of people know him. He grew up here in Soroti. And yes, he also grew up with me here in Soroti. We went to the same school and we separated at the secondary school level. But at primary level, he has been a leader at primary level and all that. So that's how I know him. He's here to share his life experience. He's how he grew up and why he is now part of politics in Uganda. And yes, this is time for you to know him more and more. Yes, welcome to my show.
Thank you so much.
How are you, Shaban?
I'm okay.
It's been long.
It has been long.
Like while we were still in primary, you used to be our head prefect.
Yes.
And you were that young boy. And everyone was like, how can a young boy, you know, the team of girls that we had, how can a young boy be the head prefect? But I realized you had leadership in you. Otherwise, welcome and thank you for coming to share with the people, with the world, your life story.
Thank you for hosting me.
You're welcome.
I'm so glad.
You're welcome.
Just like you said, my name is Shaban Ali. Most people out there know me as the NRM man. You know, when you come to Morapesu, and you say you want to meet the NRM man, they will bring you up to home.
Yeah.
So, I'm here. I'm so happy that you have hosted me today to share with the people.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Now let's get to know you clearly. I may have known you, but someone out there does not know you. Who is Shaban Ali? Where does he come from? Yeah, all that, your schools that you went to.
My life story is not that short because I'm not a rich man. You know, sometimes it's rich people who have short stories
To tell.
They will tell you, I come from Kumi, I'm so and so, I'm rich, I have houses in Kampala, and that's the end. You will understand at the end of the day, you will know that this is a rich man. But me, my life is a very polite one. My education, surprisingly, I started my education here in Swahili Primary School. When I realized that I was that short man who is very intelligent, I went and asked my teacher that, I think I cannot study in P1. I went to P2. And immediately I reached P2, I became the class captain of that class.
In P2?
In P2. So you cannot imagine if they asked me now if I go for an interview and they asked me for the report card of P1, I would definitely lose a job. But that does not mean that I was willing to make sure that as a young person, I pursue education to the best. So I was in Swahili Primary School from P2 up to P6. I went to Rockview. You know, there was this teacher who was very, very stubborn, mathematics teacher called Ochilaje.
Yeah.
And the guy used to really show us that we needed to pass mathematics.
Sure.
So then I realized that I would not enjoy this kibokos all the time because I was not that so much good in mathematics.
That was in Swahili?
That was in Swahili.
Yeah.
So I said, no, I think I should go to Rockview.
Where there are no canes.
Where there are no canes. Yeah. Now when I went to Rockview again, the same teacher followed us.
Oh.
I said, wow, what is this? So I passed very well. I did PLOE. By then, Rockview Primary School did not have a center number, so we sat in Morapesu Primary School. I passed very well. I went to Soroti Secondary School from senior 1 up to senior 6. I did very well. But you know, in life, the challenges were there. I had a brother who loved me so much and he used to pay my school fees. And you know, he was also having children that were growing up very fast.
That's true.
When I completed my senior 6, I had to stay home for some time. So I said, as a young man who does not want to lose value, I had to make sure that I stay home for 2 years doing this simple job so that I save money to go back to school. So a friend of mine advised me that, no, Shaban, you cannot just stay. You need to do something. So I collected my money.
I have
I went to Uganda Matters here using the senior 4 certificate now to do building science.
Yes.
Right now, I'm a very good engineer by the
Construction.
construction.
You know, when you told me that you do construction, I could not believe
Of course, people get surprised.
Yes.
When they see me talk big about NRM, they talk, they see me in radio stations, they see me on TV. They say, but this man, what does he do?
Yes.
But I'm just an ordinary builder with a simple life.
Simple life. Indeed.
Very simple life.
And now from construction, you decided to say, let me be in the political side of Uganda. And earlier on, I told you you're controversial somehow. How did you start feeling the joy of being in politics?
There is no joy in being in politics. You know, sometimes when you talk much about President Museveni, for example, like for me, I like writing articles. I talk about President Museveni all the time. People think I have a lot of money. Now the challenge I have is that every morning in my home, you find women coming home asking me for money. Some of them even ask for school fees. But what do? Do you have to chase them away? I said, no. What is your problem? I have a problem. My child does not have uniform. You pick money and give. Because they know you are in the NRM and you get money. But remember, I told you I'm just an ordinary builder. But then after some time, luck came in. One of my best friends, called Albert Edmond Ariko,
The current member of
parliament, decided to ask me what I want. I said, no, I want to continue with education. And surprisingly, he paid my tuition. And right now, as I'm speaking, I'm going to get a diploma in social works and social administration. I've also realized that life is about how sharp and intelligent you are. That is how you can manage society. I want to employ the young people outside there to make sure that they undergo education, no matter the challenges. I also have a very bad experience. When I was in a secondary school, you know, there was this teacher who used to teach English. She was a student teacher. When she came, she was posted to be our class teacher. We started becoming friends with her. Sometimes she could tell me to collect books. I take for her to mark in the staff room, and the relationship grew big. I didn't know what she wanted. All of a sudden, when I didn't realize that the student teacher had a special feeling
For you?
For me, yes.
Yes.
You know, I was a young boy. You know, I'm senior too. You don't know anything.
You're just there.
I'm just there.
Trying to create.
So one time, this teacher invited me to her home.
Yes.
I'm telling you this. I've not even told my wife. I've not even told my family. But I want to tell you this story so that the people understand that even young people, even young men can be raped.
That's true.
So I went there over the weekend. We had time. She had this big TV. You know, in the olden days we had this big TVs here, let alone this screen, whatever. So I sat there. I started watching. She brought me food. I ate. She was asking me about my life. All of a sudden, she brought me juice. I didn't know what was in juice. I took the juice. I realized in the morning that I had a night with her in her bed. You cannot believe it. This teacher raped me, but I did not have time to tell anybody, because I believed that if I had shared with anybody this experience, people would not believe me. So that is when I realized that it is very, very bad for you to keep quiet with a special, because you might die. It's true. This teacher raped me. This teacher broke my virginity. You cannot believe it.
How old were you at that moment?
I don't know, about 16, 17 years. I can't remember much.
Okay. When you woke up and you realized you had been raped, what did you do? How do you react? I just want to draw a picture of that kind of situation.
She told me that whatever we have done here, don't tell anybody. Of course, as a young man who was growing up, learning about sexuality, I realized there's something that I did what happened between me and her.
Yeah.
So then, I had a belief that, you know, by that time people were talking a lot about HIV, AIDS. So, immediately I left her house, I went home, and I told myself, I think I should go for a test. Fortunately, my results came out when I was negative. Thank God. By then, the headmaster was Attorney Moses, Attorney O.P.
The father to...
The father to
yes.
Attorney Moses.
Right.
He was my very good friend, but I could not tell him this.
You had fear in you?
I had fear in me. Because the teacher had already warned me that if I told anybody, she would deal with me. In the morning when I was going up, she pulled a note of 10,000. You can't imagine how much that money is a lot to me.
Those days.
Those days. You know, someone gives you 10,000 and tells you keep quiet. I want to tell you, every time I read this, I feel like dying. But of course now you cannot tell anyone.
Do you still meet her around?
She's around. Sometimes.
What does she say when you meet her?
I don't meet her. Sometimes I even fear to be next to her.
But you see her crying.
She became a monster. She destroyed my life. I felt very bad. So sometimes the young people like me have issues that they keep quiet with. I want you to imagine if I had been open, what would happen to the teacher? That is also what came to my mind, even if I was young. So I felt so bad. And I said, one time I'm going to tell someone this story.
And here you are, sharing with the world.
Sharing the bad story about me.
So all along growing up, I believe that after this incident, your life has never been the same again.
Exactly.
Has it been haunting you? Like, have you been regretting about this?
Every time I meet her, the story comes back afresh. You can't imagine waking up in the morning, someone is telling you, don't tell anybody. Someone has already used you. But then I decided to say that no, I need to protect this teacher.
It came from your heart?
It came from my heart. But that teacher, if she's around, and there are teachers who are doing that, they should stop. Some of these young people are there at school to look for a life. It's very important. Supposing she was HIV positive, would I be still here?
That would be another story.
That would be another story.
It would actually be another story.
So it is very bad. It was the worst experience of my life. It is hectic.
Now you've opened up and you've shared this. I thank you that you've opened up and shared this. But there's one thing I want to know. Have you forgiven her?
From the bottom of my heart.
Have you released her from your heart?
From the bottom of my heart. I'm a Muslim. And Islam says that if it reaches 6 p.m., when you have not forgiven your Muslim brother or sister, you become a sinner yourself. I forgave her, even if she does not know. And I'm telling you, when you're watching this, Shaban Ali has forgiven you. Completely. I forgave her a long time.
Did this incident change your life to who you are right now? Did it torment you to the extent of saying, I don't like women, what a woman has done to me is the worst?
I took time. When I was growing up, I was at school, and that incident happened. I developed a feeling that every woman is bad. But then I realized that no, not every woman is bad. I have a lot of friends who are women, but this has never happened again. So life must continue, but this must not happen to anybody. Sure. That is at school, either a girl or a boy, because we need to be protected. These people that you rape are the future leaders. They are the future lawyers. So this is experience has made me think that we need to have time and talk to our students
about this kind of
situations. And I want to promise you that wherever I will go, I will always be open and tell people my story.
It starts from here.
It starts from here.
Now let's talk about you being in politics. Have you ever contested?
I don't know what you mean by
like being contesting as someone who is in a position. Have you ever held a political position?
You know, from the time that I wanted to stand as the head boy of Sarot Secondary School,
yes,
I visited the head teacher,
yes,
at an OP, and he told me, my friend, if you want to fail the exams, you go and stand and become the head boy.
And yet you had started your journey at primary level.
I started my journey.
Yes.
I told him, why are you saying that?
Yes.
Shaban, I love you so much. I don't want anything to happen to you. So, I maybe in future, you know, leadership comes from God. If God has decided to say that, Shaban, go and lead your people, I will do that. You know how much the people of Morapesu will come to me and tell me that, please represent us? I said, no, I have a lot of things that I'm doing. I am a builder, and with this building, I can be in a position to support people.
Sure.
So I don't need to be in the division. I don't need to be a speaker. I don't need to be a mayor to help people. So that is the kind of life I'm living. But when time comes, we shall join politics and we shall change things.
Your blood has NRM in it. And
I knew you were going to talk about it.
And this has created a little bit of mixed reactions from different people. How do you deal with this kind of challenges? Let's start from the love you have for NRM. Where did it start from?
I always tell people that there are three very important people in my life that I don't want you to talk about when they're still alive.
Yes.
That is President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, Herbert Edmond Ariko, and of course my mother.
Those are three major
When
people.
I'm around here and you talk about them, I will make sure that I beat you and you take me to prison.
Sure.
Because there are these three important people that have showed me the way. When I was in Swaria Primary School, I did not pay a penny, even 50 shillings, from P1 up, P2 up to P6. When universal primary education just came in, it was courtesy of the president. So why would I say President Museveni is bad now? And yet I'm a beneficiary of the universal primary education. See this good English I'm speaking? It's because of him. You see, this good English I'm speaking is because of Herbert Edmond Ariko. And of course, it is because of my mother. So the national resistance movement has built capacity for some of us. We may not want to be the RDCs.
Yes.
Where we are now, we are satisfied. Because I am positioned to go to do my work. I go to the site, I build, I come back with my 20,000. Nobody will ask me for it. That, hey, stop, bring that money here. So, in the whole of Africa, for over 500 years, this party called it the National Resistance Movement has brought sanity. And that is what people must accept. So, the National Resistance Movement, engineered by President Museveni, Herbert Edmond Ariko, and my mother, are a great deal
To you.
to me.
I know, I understand that. How do you deal with the challenges that come along, criticism coming from different people, old and young, people of your age? How do you deal with this
Let me
criticism?
tell you a story of the day I had my traditional marriage. There's this lady called Alobe. She came to my traditional marriage.
Yes.
I did not invite her. But someone wrote a report to send to the FDC headquarters that, you see, Alob has even gone to have the traditional marriage of
the NRM man.
The NRM man.
Yes.
But when you look at the people that were there, most of them were opposition. That were my friends. We had the Speaker of the city here, Honorable Agonya. She was there. So, the way I deal with people, sometimes I don't put too much party in.
Yeah.
Because we need each other. We need to coexist. If I have a problem with you, and for example, you are FDC, you cannot help me. And that is what we need to remove from people. I am in NRM, yes, I have the right of belonging, constitutionally. If you're in FDC, that is fine. But what unites us is that whenever I have challenges, I have to meet you and tell you, my brother, I know you're in FDC, but you can help me in this.
Yeah.
And that is how I have tried to manage to make sure that I live.
You maintain.
I had a politician one day who followed me inside my house.
And told you what?
With my wife and children. And he warned me that if you continue talking about me in social media, I will deal with you. With my mother, in front of my mother.
Oh, that was bad.
I told him, if I get any problem here, I will know that you are the one. I'm not going to tell you about the politician, but he knows himself. I am this kind of mobilizer in NRM that a few people here fear. When they hear that Shaban Ali is in the radio station, they will all tune to listen to what he's going to say.
Are you sure about that?
So, to me, I've told my people at home, that is going to be one of my wills that I'm preparing. That when I die, I don't waste your time crying, gather people from the villages, mooning, celebrate my life. Buy enough food. For you who likes rice, buy enough rice. Because people are going to come from all walks of life to come and know three things. As the NRM man really died, because I've been a headache to most of them. I am going to bury Shaban Ali because I love him so much.
And I'm going to see if he has really died.
He has really died. So you see, that is how I've managed life. And being in politics has also made me create a lot of friends. You cannot imagine that when you go to Serere County right now and you talk about Shaban Ali, they will tell you that this young man here, the man who came here and helped us campaign. So you can imagine the relationship that I've created with people. It is wonderful.
Yeah, I imagine and I know that social media is where I always see you, and I see a lot of hate speech coming through. And sometimes I wonder, how does he even manage this? What kind of shock absorber does he have?
My wife one day told me that, you see, Shaban, you need to leave these issues of politics. You can imagine this man, you were discussing your issues in social media, he has come to attack you home here. You need to be very careful. I told my wife, no, that is part of life. I'm not going to stop it. If my day has reached that I'm going to die, because I am supporting and talking about NRM and President 7 and Herbert Edmond Ariko, come what may. You never know, maybe I will go to heaven if I die because of talking about President 7 and Herbert Edmond Ariko.
Sure.
Because they are doing the right things to the people.
To the people.
Yes.
Okay, because of time, we are going to end the conversation here, but another episode of Shaban Ali will be coming through. He has a lot of stories to talk about, and I know that he's going to come up in the next episode of this show. He has told me of the most painful secret of his life. You have known the most painful secret of his life that any other person has ever known about it. And how I wish that this changes your life. How I wish that this creates an impact in your life. He's also told me that resilience is what any other person needs to thrive. Before we close this other episode with him, I just want you to share one inspirational story, one inspirational power, a word of inspiration to the youth who is watching you right now, Shaban Ali.
The young people out there, nobody, I want to put this clearly, nobody will come and put food in your table when you're wasting time in social media, when you're wasting time in Marwa, when you're wasting time in discourse. The moment you reach 30 years and you're not having a constructive idea of development you're doing, you are finished. Let us wake up and do something Let us not all the time blame government. Government will only come in when it is a community initiative. But government cannot support an individual. Like for example, I'm an engineer. Every time I talk about it in social media, I tell people that please, if you know that you don't have anything to do, get in touch with me. Come in the morning, I take you to the site, you get the 10,000 shillings.
Sure.
But because you have already shown people in social media, you have photoshopped yourself, you are putting on like Jay-Z, now people will say, this man here, can he handle construction? So, young people need to wake up. Young people are the reason Uganda is going to stand, if they only start thinking about themselves. If they are going to continue thinking within themselves, it's going to be very dangerous.
Okay.
So this is the time for young people to take over.
Thank you, Shaban. Be sure to catch up with the next episode of Shaban Ali. This is the first episode of his life story, and we'll be continuing from here. But all thanks to Garden Launch Annex here at Soroti City, the beautiful scenery for the they have drinks, they have a pool, table pool, they have most of the things that you require, and it's a quiet place. That's why you can feel our audio clearly. It's a quiet place. You can come with your friends and have fun at Garden Nest Launch. Thank you for following Julie's Odile Show. Like, comment, and drop in a comment underneath or beneath this video. We'll be coming back with another episode of Shaban Ali, and this time it will be his political life. Thank you so much for watching.